This question tests our understanding of the distance formula. We are being asked from the 6 expressions given here on the right to identify which expression or expressions can be used to find each of the following distances. The little s in brackets in expressions is telling us that some of these may have more than one right answer. The only way to be sure of completely answering the question then is to examine all 6 of the expressions and ensure which of them can be used to find one of the distances. Let's start with this distance xy on the left. That, of course, is the length of the side xy in triangle xyz. Filling in the distance formula can be done in 2 different ways to find distance xy, depending on which is considered the starting point and which considered the ending point. Over here it is given as xy, which implies that x is the starting point, but of course in a distance between 2 points, the distance is the same regardless of which is considered the starting and which is considered the ending point. So the only way to be sure is to try filling the formula both ways. The x-coordinate of point x is 2, and the x-coordinate of point y is 4. So I expect to see 2 minus 4 or 4 minus 2 in the first bracket inside the formula. And I have 2 different answers, number 3 and number 6, that have 2 minus 4 in the first bracket. None of the answers has 4 minus 2. So if I have 2 minus 4 in the first bracket, filling in the distance formula, I should have 3 minus 1 in the second bracket. And in both cases, number 3 and number 6, I have 3 minus 1 in the second bracket. So that looks at first glance like both of these could be the same and the same right answer. But one of them has a minus here in between the brackets and the other one has a plus. And if I know my distance formula, I know that has to be a plus. So number 3 is not the answer. Number 6 is the only one of these 6 answers, which is finding the distance xy. So I put number 6 in this space. Let's skip over and look at distance xz next. We have the point 2, 3 and the point negative 1, 1. So I'm going to have either 2 minus negative 1 or negative 1 minus 2 in the first bracket. Only one of these 6 distance formulas has something like that, and it's number 5. I have negative 1 minus 2 in the first bracket, and that would mean I would expect to see y equals positive 1 minus y equals 3 in the other bracket, and that's what I have. So number 5 is the only one of the 6 choices that determines the distance xz. Now finally, let's look at distance yz. Distance yz is the distance of a horizontal line. In this case, there are 2 different forms of the distance formula. The regular form we've been using in the other 2 distances, or the shortcut form. Number 4 is designed to be that shortcut form. And if we carefully check it, we can see, yes, negative 1 minus 4 would give us the distance. Again, there are 2 different ways to fill in this formula, depending on which one we consider the starting point and which the ending point. But negative 1 minus 4 is one of those correct ways of filling in the formula. So number 4 is one of the right answers. So I'm placing 4 as an answer to distance at yz. But there could be other correct answers, so we have to double check some of the other formulas. If we ignore the shortcut formula and use the regular distance formula, we could fill in the distance formula with the first bracket containing negative 1 minus 4. And we do have an expression up here, number 1, that has negative 1 minus 4. So we just have to check that the rest of the formula is filled in correctly. If negative 1 minus 4 is given in the first bracket, then 1 minus 1 would have to be in the second bracket, and it is. And there is no trick question, there is no minus sign where I expect to find a plus sign or anything like that. So number 1 is also a correct answer for distance yz. And I enter number 1 as another correct answer for yz. I just have to double check that there's no other correct answer. If I fill out the distance formula in the opposite order for distance yz or distance zy, besides having negative 1 minus 4 in the first bracket, I could also have the same thing backwards, 4 minus negative 1 in the first bracket. And while I don't see 4 minus negative 1 anywhere, I do see 4 plus 1 here in expression number 2. And of course, since subtracting a negative means you add, this means that the work is partially done. 4 plus 1 means 4 minus negative 1. So this could be a correct filling in of the distance formula. Let's check the other bracket. It would also have to have 1 minus 1 in it, and it does. There are no tricks. There is no minus sign where there should be a plus sign or anything like that. So number 2 is yet another correct answer for this question. And I add number 2 to my answers down here. This is the way to solve a question like this. We have to be thorough. We have to double check to see if there's more than one right answer. And we also have to remember that for horizontal and vertical lines, there are shortcut formulas for the distance formula, these small ones with the absolute value like we had in number 4.